In the following video, a man was walking through a storage complex late at night when he noticed something strange reflecting off the side of a stack of boxes. At first, it looked like the shadow of a person standing completely still, but the moment he turned the corner to see who was there, the entire space ahead of him was empty. Take a look.
Quiero que chequen algo en esa tarima de ahí. Eso. Y chequen, estoy yo solo. No hay nadie aquí. Ni de este lado, ni para acá. Vean, nada. Puto almacén vacío, está su pinche madre.
He slowly walks down the long, stretched aisle between the rows of storage units, sweeping his light left and right as he passes each gap. But there's nobody. The space is silent, the concrete floors untouched, and no weird sounds echo. The shadow he saw moments earlier should have belonged to someone standing right there, yet there's no sign of movement, no footsteps, and nowhere to hide. By the end of the clip, he's fully convinced he saw something that wasn't human, and he wasn't wrong. Later on, security footage from the facility was checked, and it confirmed that not a single person entered or exited during the time he filmed. Whatever cast that shadow wasn't supposed to be there, and it left no trace behind except the moment it revealed itself. Basements are the most likely place in somebody's house to be haunted, and for Taz, that idea has basically become a daily reality. Activity in his basement has picked up so much recently that he now films every single time he goes down there, just in case something happens. This time, he was carrying a load of laundry down the stairs, trying to act normal, even though he admits the place never feels empty.
A ghost lives in my basement. Activities have picked up, so I decided to record every time I go down there. This time I caught it on video.
He sets the laundry on the counter, the camera catching the whole room behind him while he starts sorting through clothes and loading them into the washing machine. Everything is quiet for a moment, just the sound of fabric rustling, until something in the background suddenly moves. A bright yellow object sitting on the wall shifts on its own in a very obvious way, like someone nudged it. Taz doesn't notice at first, still focused on the washer, but the object continues to wobble before collapsing entirely a few seconds later, falling off the shelf as if pushed. There's nobody else in the basement, no draft, nothing touching it. This wasn't a light object being blown over either. It was something heavy enough that it only ever moves when something interacts with it. For Taz, it's just more evidence that whatever is living in that basement hasn't calmed down at all and might actually be getting stronger. In a haunted housing complex, the Scottish Ghost Company returned to one of the strangest locations they've ever investigated, an abandoned multi-house property where they've had responses before. It's just the two of them, a man and a woman, walking slowly through the empty rooms with nothing but their flashlights cutting through the darkness. They remind viewers that nobody else is anywhere in the entire complex, and the silence around them feels impossibly heavy. Eventually, they step into a room they call one of the most active spots in the building and greet whatever spirit might still linger there. They ask if it can open the door for them, half expecting nothing to happen, but of course, something does.
Hi everybody, I know you can't see us very well, but we are here.
Hi!
Hi. We are alone in a building which, sorry, I'm just going to turn you around. Yeah, we are alone in this old
Warehouse complex?
warehouse complex. We have set up a room video, we've been live on Facebook and we've had quite good responses from a door moving on its own in here.
The only other living person is the security guard, who is about 3 buildings away. So there's absolutely nobody except us in the whole area.
So we've heard so many loud bangs in here. So we're going to try and do it again. Hi Spirit, we're back again. Is it? There we go. Well, when we left this, it was open.
It was wide open.
Spirit, if you're still with us, I know I said I wasn't coming back. Could you...
I'm so impressed with what you were able to do.
Can you open the door, please, if you're still with us?
Oh my god.
Thank you so much. What was that?
Oh my god.
Okay, Spirit, thank you. Can you close it again, please? Close the door over, please. We're really impressed. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh my god.
Well done. Now...
A moment later, the door begins to move, slowly and smoothly, swinging fully open without a single creak. Both of them stare with wide eyes, shocked, but keeping surprisingly calm as they thank the spirit. Then they ask if it can close the door again multiple times, but there's a brief pause before the door gently pulls itself shut, the same smooth movement as before. The whole interaction is clear, controlled, and impossible to explain, but at least the investigators and I got content. A team of paranormal agents were visiting a preserved heritage home that once caught fire decades ago. They had been invited to document any lingering activity, and on this particular night they decided to use a Ouija board, along with a few basic pieces of equipment to see if anything would respond. The room was calm at first, quiet except for the soft beeps of their devices checking for movement or EMF spikes. Take a look.
Stephen was a name that we had come to know throughout our time there that could potentially unravel some of the story that we had come to find out.
Right.
So we're trying to see if anybody's here.
Maybe somebody named Steven or...
Immediately the REM pod as soon as he said Steven.
And it hasn't gone off.
It hasn't gone off
in
even
hours.
during the live stream. It didn't go off at all. And solid. It did go off earlier that one time in the bathroom, but...
That's really weird.
What was that?
Yeah, you heard that too?
Yeah, it was a shh. I heard something behind me. Oh my god. Okay, let's say
As soon as one of them mentioned the name Stephen, a former resident who lived there before the fire, the equipment lit up instantly, as if something was acknowledging the name. Shortly after, they heard something strange say, "Find me" to them both, as if beckoning them to explore this place further. Both investigators froze, shocked by how clear and direct the message was. While they tried to process it, something else in the room started drawing their attention. On the far wall, an old decoration hanging from a hook began to gently sway back and forth, even though nobody was near it. The rest of the room remained still. No windows open, nothing that could have caused it. The timing made it feel like Stephen, or whatever answered to that name, was trying to guide them somewhere, or warn them of something he could not show himself. The agents quickly realized they were dealing with something intelligent, and this heritage home still held more secrets than anyone imagined. It started as one of those nights where the silence feels heavier than sleep, and this guy at Camp Shields in Okinawa, Japan, could tell something was off the moment he sat up in the dark feeling watched. He had just thrown his helmet toward the door where he swore the presence came from, and now he was talking into the empty room like he expected something to answer, almost pleading for the ghost to show it was real. It had already woken him up, so why not continue?
I didn't just see a hand. You mad or what? You mad I threw that helmet at you? Do it again. Make some noise. Show me you're real. Island. Show me. Satan ass motherfucker. Show me. Prove to me that you're real. Do it. What, you mad? Show me. Swing some shit. Make them noises and shit that you did when you woke me up. Do it. Do it. Do it. Oh my gosh, bro.
He waits, hears knocking like the ghost is getting mad, and an orb crosses the screen. The moment that orb drifts by, his whole energy shifts because he knows he didn't imagine that knock, and he definitely didn't imagine something moving across the room. You can hear the nervous laugh behind his voice, but also that moment of regret when it hits him that maybe he pushed a little too hard. People always think they want proof until the lights go quiet again, and you're alone with whatever just answered you, and he suddenly seems very aware that asking for a sign might have invited something closer than he ever expected. It picked up right where he left off, the room still feeling tight and charged, like the air didn't reset after that orb passed, and he kept the camera pointed at the corner because he swore something was still moving in there. He tried to steady his breathing, but before he even got close to being calm, the cupboard behind him opened and slammed shut like something inside was answering with attitude.
Part 2.
Bro. Hey! Hey, chill the out. I'm tired of your shit. Hey! Cut that shit off. Shut the fuck up!
He turns, trying to get a good angle while filming as 2 knocks hit from inside the cupboard. He tells it to chill the fuck out. Then a harsh scraping sound erupts, followed by something falling to the floor. The sound sends him spinning back toward the camera, because that scrape was way too real. and way too close for him to pretend it was nothing, and you can hear in his voice that it is no longer curiosity pushing him forward, but straight up panic holding him in place. There is this moment where he just freezes, staring at the cupboard like he is waiting to see if whatever is in there is going to come out, and you can tell he knows he crossed a line. He had asked for proof, and now it felt like something was trying to claw its way into the room just to give it to him, and that regret hit him harder than anything the ghost could throw. It was one of those late-night walkthroughs where the building feels older than its walls, and the Ogden Paranormal Investigations team had barely stepped into the Salt Lake City Clubhouse before realizing the place carried a kind of quiet that did not belong to an empty structure. They set a camera in one of the lower rooms, letting it run while they explored, and you can hear their footsteps echoing above like the spirits had already started listening. One of the investigators went out of frame and called out to whatever was on the top floor, asking it to come downstairs and join them, because he wanted to see if the place really lived up to its reputation.
That's you upstairs. You're more than welcome to join us here in the basement. We'd love to talk to you.
Right after I ask the spirits on the first floor to join us downstairs, an anomaly moves from the top of the screen towards the basement staircase. Watch again with the image enhanced.
That's you upstairs. You're more than welcome to join us here in the basement. We'd love to talk to you. Upstairs, you're more than welcome to join us here in the basement. We'd love to talk to you.
As he finishes asking, an orb shoots through the ceiling area on the camera feed and drops downstairs, like it heard the invitation. The second that orb comes through the roofline, nobody has to say anything because you can feel how fast the mood shifts from casual investigation to the realization that something actually responded. The investigator who called out suddenly sounds unsure about his own words, and the room feels heavier, like whatever moved through the floor did not come alone. Moments like that remind them that sometimes the spirits do not wait for permission. They take an invitation as a door opening. Upstairs, the camera had been running quietly, pointed down the dim hallway where the team hadn't walked yet, and the air up there already seemed thicker on the recording, like something was hovering just out of frame in the doorway. The investigators were still reacting to the orb dropping through the roof downstairs, completely unaware that the upstairs feed was catching something even stranger.
We had more potential evidence from night 1, but without the handheld footage, we could not verify its validity. However, that does not take away from an experience Jocelyn will not soon forget.
The empty hallway sits still for a few seconds before a soft but clear voice says hello near the camera. The moment that single word comes through, it cuts through the silence in a way that doesn't sound like an echo or a creak, or any of the usual building noises they're used to, and it feels more like a direct acknowledgement from whatever they had called down. It's the kind of greeting that doesn't feel friendly or hostile, just aware, like something wanted them to know it heard the invitation and was deciding whether to follow. And when the investigators later reviewed the footage and heard that hello, you could see the realization hit them that they weren't just exploring a haunted clubhouse, they were talking to something that was willing to answer back. Ethan had woken up suddenly in the middle of the night to the sound of footsteps moving around outside his bedroom. At first, he thought it was just his imagination, but when they didn't stop, he grabbed his phone and started filming in complete darkness to prove what he was hearing. This is what he captured.
Oh my god, guys. I don't know what the going on. I just woke up. There's like footsteps. Listen to this shit, can y'all hear it? What? Oh hell no, what the fuck was that, dog? Hold up. Alright, yo, I gotta check this shit out. What the hell? Nobody out here. Nobody out here. What the I gotta go get my mom. Oh, what the
The video is almost pitch black, with only faint outlines visible, but the sound is unmistakable with slow, deliberate footsteps echoing just beyond his door. Then, something drops outside the room, a small clatter that makes Ethan jolt. He quickly turns the light on and steps out into the front yard, filming as he looks around. Nobody's there. The entire place is now empty and silent. Still recording, he turns back toward his room, clearly shaken. But as he walks in, the camera catches something horrifying. For a brief second, a completely blacked out face peeks around the edge of the doorway, watching him, before instantly pulling back out of sight. Ethan gasps, the phone shakes, and the clip ends there. It's one of those moments where even though the light is on, the darkness feels closer than ever. After hearing strange noises coming from his garage late at night, a man decided to grab his phone and start recording to see if he could figure out what was going on. The moment he walked in, something immediately seemed off. The attic door above was hanging open, even though he was certain it had been closed earlier that evening. Instinctively, he began to record.
I heard a noise, and I came out here and this door was open and now it just shut by itself. Light. What the? Oh, I'm scared out of my freaking mind. Jesus Christ. There's nobody up here.
He points the camera up toward it, filming in silence for a few seconds before the attic door suddenly slams shut on its own. A loud thud echoes through the garage, followed by the unmistakable sound of scuttling footsteps moving across the ceiling, as if something, or someone, was scurrying around up there. Gathering his nerves, he slowly pulls the string to open it again. The light flickers on, casting a pale glow into the attic above. He climbs up the ladder, still filming, expecting to find an animal, or maybe even an intruder. But when he reaches the top, there's nothing. No movement, no sound, just an empty attic filled with dust and boxes. Whatever had just shut the door and ran across the ceiling had vanished without a trace. After the video started gaining attention online, some viewers decided to take a closer look at the footage from the attic scene. What they discovered made the entire situation far more unsettling. One fan brightened the video frame by frame to see if anything had been hiding in the shadows, and what appeared was chilling. Take a look.
What the hell is this shit? I did not see it. I had no freaking idea until y'all started screenshotting this shit. But I took the video and I brightened it up. So if you want to see it, here it is. I got this light on because the last time, I think it was when the freaking motion detected, I turned the freaking light on when after I went up there and looked. That's what some people were asking, why the light was on when the attic door rattled. That was why. And yeah, I know some of y'all are disappointed because I didn't have the freaking camera pointed right at the door. But the reason why I put the camera in the attic was because y'all said y'all saw something saw like a person up there, so I pointed the camera into the attic. You know what I mean? I didn't know that the door was gonna freaking rattle. I can't see the future, and I don't have a time machine to go back and point it at the freaking attic door. And people are saying, no, get a second camera. Okay, maybe I will. I don't know. But like, y'all need to chill. Who gives a about the damn door, man? There's a freaking shadow figure, ghost, whatever, in my attic.
On the far side of the attic, partially obscured by the dim lighting, a faint human-like figure can be seen standing perfectly still. Its body is dark and hazy, almost blending into the background, but the outline is unmistakable, and it looks like a person watching him from across the room. The man never reacted to it in real time, meaning he had no idea it was even there while filming. Many who've analyzed the footage believe it wasn't a person at all, but rather a full-bodied apparition caught by pure accident. Whatever was in that attic with him wasn't just making noise, but it was standing right there the entire time, ready to frighten its victim. Leandro had been hearing strange knocking sounds coming from one of the rooms in his house, so he decided to start recording to figure out what was causing it. The camera captures him, standing in the hallway, staring at the door as the knocking continues. What happens next is simply unexplainable, so have a watch.
Me acaban de cerrar la puerta en la cara, pero no llegué a grabarlo. Se escucha la puerta del baño. Se me acaban de reír en la cara. Mostrate. Yo ya no te tengo miedo, ¿vale? Reíte. ¿Dónde estás? ¿Dónde carajo estás? ¿Dónde estás? ¿Dónde estás? Mostrate acá, dale.
After a few seconds, the door suddenly creaks open on its own, the sound slow and eerie as it swings inward. Leandro steps closer. He cautiously walks inside, only for another door in the same room to also close with no visible force applied, followed by what sounds like a faint giggle, which is high-pitched and childlike. He freezes for a moment before opening that door, revealing a small, private bathroom. The shower curtain inside is gently swaying, moving as if someone had just brushed past it. Heart pounding, he walks over and yanks the curtain back, but there's no one there. When he turns around, the camera catches something even stranger. His large teddy bear sitting on the bed, its head now tilted downward as if watching him. In a follow-up post, Leandro explained that he believes the teddy was the source of the haunting and has since sold it, hoping whatever was attached to it left with it. Emily was out on a late-night food delivery shift when she came across something that left her completely shaken. She was delivering an order to a quiet suburban home, the kind of place that looked totally normal from the outside. Little did she know how much the interior contested this.
Hello? Hello? I have your DoorDash order. Can you put it on the stool, please? I'm not really supposed to come into houses. It's just inside the door. It doesn't really matter how far it is. I'm not supposed to. Please? It would make it easier for me. It's just kind of, can't you just come to the door? It's just kind of a safety hazard for me to come in the house. No, I can't come to the door. Can you put it on the stool? Okay, it's easy, it's just inside. I'll just leave it here. I'm not allowed to come inside, and I will not come inside. Come on, fucking bitch. It's not hard. Yeah, no.
She sets the bag down by the front door and steps back to take a photo for proof of delivery when the door suddenly opens on its own. Confused, Emily calls out a polite hello, and to her shock, a voice from inside calmly replies with a hello back. She explains she has a DoorDash order for the homeowner, but the voice interrupts, telling her to put it on the stool just inside the doorway. Emily hesitates and refuses, saying she can't enter the house. The unseen woman insists again, her tone growing sharper, saying it makes it easier for her. Emily nervously repeats that she can't, but the voice suddenly snaps, calling her names and saying it's not that hard. At that point, Emily quickly places the bag down on the doorstep and hurries away from the house, visibly shaken. Later, she said that when she checked the app, the customer had already marked the order as delivered, yet no one was ever seen in the doorway. Comment what you think this mystery was caused by. In this next clip, a group of 3 friends, including someone named Kuma, were exploring their office late at night, which they believed to be haunted, when something strange started happening on camera. They were casually walking down the stairs, talking quietly, when one of them noticed something floating in front of them, and it was very weird.
It all started when we talked about paranormal beings. We decided to follow it.
It's all here. Bear, explain this, man.
Bro, it just turned a fucking corner. Miss you forever too, and it came out of nowhere.
It then started to follow us after we cut it off.
The entire time
I'm gonna need that video from you.
Looking at the stop coming over here. Literally looking at the ceiling. I was staring at the ceiling the whole time because it's a cool ceiling.
Like, because it's got the orb, the whole.
Yeah, it's got the. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Let it do its thing.
I see it going from a 2 shower to 1 shower.
Whoa. You guys see the force on that?
Yeah, it's fucking troll.
At first, it looked like dust, or maybe a piece of fabric caught in the air, but as they kept filming, it became clear this wasn't moving naturally at all. The faint shape began to drift upward, slowly twisting and floating in circles as if it had a mind of its own. There was no wind source anywhere, with no open windows, no fans, nothing that could have caused that kind of motion. The 3 friends watched in stunned silence before deciding to follow it further down the stairs, hoping to figure out what it was. Whatever it was seemed almost aware of them, changing direction just slightly each time they got close. This was only the beginning of what they caught that night, making it an easy setup for what's coming next. After following the strange floating shape for several minutes, the group eventually lost sight of it somewhere near the lower floor of the building. They started to think maybe it had drifted out of view, or that the moment was over, until something even weirder happened.
Are you gonna come join us, or are you gonna go downstairs? Bro, watch there be like some little kid or something back here. I'm gonna fucking flip my shit.
As Kuma panned the camera toward the barrier that led downstairs, a new white wisp suddenly appeared, gliding across the far end of the room with a smooth, eerie motion. It wasn't fast or random, and it moved like it was deliberately crossing their path. The group fell silent again, realizing whatever they were seeing wasn't just a trick of the light. Then, as Kuma turned the camera back toward the staircase, the same balloon they had been following earlier was now floating upward again, slowly rising toward them from below. It was as if it had come back on its own, perfectly timed with the other apparition's movement. What started as simple curiosity had turned into something much more unsettling that none of them could explain. For anyone new here, this is Ian, the Midwest ghost hunter, who's been exploring what's known as one of the most paranormally active sites he's ever visited, the abandoned factory. In this video, filmed at the same location as his previous investigations on this channel, Ian is exploring to see what his camera can capture. Little did he know it would be something so bizarre.
Looks like on the inside, you can still see like all the different remnants from when this place was just a factory. It's like a factory of horrors. Whoa. Oh my God. I heard a noise over there, and of course, it's got to be nearby all the scary mannequins. Oh God. Looks like a congregation over there. Like a cult gathering. Did someone just make a noise over here? I swear to God, I just heard you. Man, if one of these frickin' things moves, I'm done. I'm out of here. Oh wow, they even got Wizard of Oz theme over there. If there's anyone over here, could you? What the hell was that? It sounded like something moved over here. Did you just move one of these mannequins? Could you move one right now? Any one of these. No. Oh. Dude! That thing just freaking started rocking! Oh, no.
As he walks through the dark, echoing hallways, he describes the place as a factory of horrors, the kind of building that feels wrong the moment you step inside. Eventually, he enters one of the strangest rooms yet, a large space filled with mannequins standing in rows, like some kind of forgotten display, or a prop cult frozen in time. The camera captures the unsettling silence as Ian scans the room, when suddenly a loud metallic clang breaks through from somewhere nearby. He jumps slightly, turning toward the noise, but nothing moves. Then, faint scuttling sounds begin, like something shifting just out of sight between the mannequins. Ian steadies the camera, calling out to whatever might be there, even asking it to move one of them if it can hear him. A few seconds pass before one of the mannequins starts rocking gently, as if something had brushed against it. Ian whispers in disbelief, realizing this wasn't the wind or vibrations, it was a direct response. Subscribe if you want to see what happens when he comes back to the channel for the next part of this terrifying investigation. Chase was staying over at his girlfriend's house when something strange happened that made him start recording. She had told him before that the place was haunted, saying you could always hear footsteps moving around upstairs, even when nobody was there. Chase never believed her, until the night that changed everything. Take a look.
My front camera is smashed, but I'm here at my girlfriend's house by myself. She always says it's haunted because it sounds like somebody is walking around upstairs. I've never heard it until now. I always say it's not haunted because the house is a little old. But it legit sounds like there's somebody upstairs. I will swing on a ghost, or if it's a person, I don't care. Who's up there? Oh my God, they're like at the top of the stairs. Come down these stairs and I will swing on you, I promise.
The video starts with him whispering that he's finally hearing it for himself. Faint but clear footsteps can be heard moving above him, slow and steady, like someone pacing. He walks toward the stairs, the sound growing louder with each step he takes. As he begins to climb, he pauses halfway up, shining the camera toward the landing, and asks who's up there. There's no answer, just silence and the faint creak of the house settling. Then, out of nowhere, the footsteps pick up again, this time rushing straight toward him. Chase freezes, but before he can react, something invisible seems to barrel down the stairs. He instinctively swings at the air, but nothing's there. The clip ends abruptly as he backs away, shaken, realizing his girlfriend might have been right about the house all along. The date was June the 14th of 2025. Chris decided to spend the evening at a well-known haunted forest, a place locals have claimed for years is filled with restless spirits. Armed with his ghost interaction device, he began exploring deep within the trees until he stumbled upon something eerie, an old grave marker for two people right in the center of the forest.
Hi, Jonathan. Hi, buddy. It's nice to talk to you. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. It just said Jonathan, bombings 1920s. You are amazing. Mortuary. Right. It just said right. And that's John. I mean, you would think if his full name was Jonathan, they put Jonathan, right? But it just said Jonathan. Bombings 1920s. Right. And Nightmare. Lifetime. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy. That's wild, bro. Wild. We've been so connected lately. I don't know what it is, man. Whoa, 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 whoa.
As he asks questions through the device, the faint shape of a white wisp can be seen gliding behind the grave, moving slowly through the darkness before fading away. Chris continues speaking calmly, asking if anyone is there with him, and then the device suddenly responds with two clear words: "You're amazing." The moment leaves him speechless. Whether it was meant as kindness or mockery, it confirmed that something out there was definitely aware of him and listening. Who knows if it was one of the men who appeared on the grave. Filming from her bed late at night, a woman in Houston began recording her closet after claiming it had opened on its own just a few minutes earlier. She had recently gotten up, closed it, and returned to bed, but she decided to start filming in case it happened again. The room was quiet, the only sound being the faint hum of the air conditioner as she kept the camera pointed steadily at the door. What happened next was bizarre.
The door opened up a few minutes ago, so while I was laying down, so we're gonna see if it's gonna open again. I closed it and got back in the bed, and hopefully it is shut for tonight. I just end up getting out my bed a minute ago and shutting it, so let's see. Looky. I'm in my bed. And there she goes. So I'm going to have to end up putting a towel in it, or she's going to keep opening it up all night. But I'm in my bed, as you can see. It's opened up again by itself.
After several tense seconds, the closet door slowly begins to pull open by itself, creaking just slightly as it moves. She gasps softly, but doesn't move, frozen as the door comes to a stop. No one else is visible in the frame, and there's no sign of a draft or string pulling it. After this, she said she's been trying to move out of the apartment entirely, convinced that whatever is in that Houston apartment doesn't want her to stay, and she would be a fool not to listen to the signs. The following footage is grainy and hard to make out, clearly filmed on an older camera, but what it captures is enough to send chills down your spine. Paul, a ghost hunter who often explores haunted places alone, was walking through a wooded area at night, with only the faint beam of his camera's built-in torch lighting the way. The crunching of leaves under his feet is constant as he scans the trees, narrating quietly to himself. Then, out of nowhere, something insane happens, so have a look.
Where's it gone? There was something there. Sure I saw something. Where is it? It was around here somewhere. It was here somewhere, but it's gone. Oh, I don't know where it is.
Out of seemingly nowhere, a white, human-like figure glides across the frame just ahead of him, its movement smooth and unnatural, almost floating rather than walking. Paul immediately swings the camera around, calling out into the darkness, but whatever it was is already gone. He searches the surrounding area, panning the light through the trees and undergrowth, but there's nothing there. No noise, no footprints, no sign of anyone else. For someone who spent years chasing the paranormal, even Paul admitted afterward that this one left him completely rattled. Who knows if he will ever spot something so clear again. The Ogden paranormal team had decided to spend the night investigating a notoriously haunted location known as Asylum 49, a place long rumored to be one of the most active spots in the state. During one part of the investigation, two members of the team, a man and a woman, were sitting quietly in a dimly lit room, waiting to see if anything would happen, while the rest of the group monitored from another area. This is what happened.
You notice that?
Yeah, it's scary.
It started off back there and now it's right here.
For a while, everything was completely still, the only sound being the faint hum of their equipment. Then, out of nowhere, soft noises began echoing from behind them, like distant shuffling or something moving just out of view. They both freeze, exchanging nervous glances before slowly turning around at the same time. The camera pans with them, and the place is empty, completely void of movement, yet the sound continues for another second before fading into silence again. No one else was near that room, and the team later confirmed through their static cameras that nobody had entered or left during that time, making this one of the eeriest moments from their night inside Asylum 49. A young family captured a moment that started off completely normal, but quickly took a strange turn. The clip begins with the grandmother arriving at the house, greeting her daughter-grandson at the door. The mom cheerfully asks her son if he wants to go to grandma's, and he immediately lights up with excitement, nodding and running toward the front yard. Things are wholesome until they become odd.
You ready to go, Grandma's? Come on. Let's go.
I want you.
She's got cups. Okay. Yeah.
Dada! I'm just hugging me. Daddy hugging me.
Oh, wait.
What?
No, okay. Ooh, come on, Clarence. Okay.
What, Daddy?
That's what I was just about to ask. What did you say, bud? Did you say bye too?
Bye. I said bye, Daddy.
Oh, okay.
As he walks to the right, his tone suddenly changes. He stops, looks into the distance and quietly says, "Dada," as if he's spotted someone familiar. The mom looks a little confused, since the boy's father wasn't home due to him passing away 8 years ago, but the child seems completely certain, even waving and saying "Bye, Dada," before turning back toward the car. The family later checked the footage again, and though nothing visible appears where the boy was looking, his reaction and tone were unmistakably genuine, leaving everyone wondering who or what he actually saw that day. Luke had set up a small camera to keep an eye on his cat while he was out, but what the footage ended up showing was far from what he expected. Everything seems perfectly normal at first, just a quiet kitchen with his cat lounging. Then, things start to get strange. The lamp beside the sofa suddenly flickers on, glowing unusually bright before shutting off again, then turning back on a few seconds later. It repeats this several times, almost like someone's playing with the switch, except Luke wasn't home. As the light flashes, a teddy sitting nearby begins to subtly move, its arm shifting just slightly, before an ornament placed next to it falls over completely. The cat notices immediately, jumping up and walking closer to investigate, as the lamp turns off one final time. After that, everything stops. The room goes still again, silent and undisturbed, as if nothing had ever happened. In this next clip, a woman follows her cat into a room after hearing faint children's music playing from inside, which immediately strikes her as odd, since no toys had been turned on. It's the playroom, filled with her child's things, and the cat seems unusually curious, walking straight toward the curtains near the window. As she steps in behind the car, she notices something strange. The legs of a bear plushie beneath the curtain are subtly moving back and forth, almost like they're kicking. She walks closer, trying to make sense of what she's seeing, and then pulls the curtain aside to reveal the toy lying still on the floor. It's not moving at all now. Thinking maybe she imagined it, she starts walking away, only for the bear to shift slightly again, just an inch, completely on its own. She immediately pulls it back and shows behind it with her camera, proving that nothing and no one is there. In the aftermath, she admitted the incident left her too unsettled to keep it and decided to list the toy online to sell it. The following video begins with the camera shaking slightly, the person behind it clearly nervous. A young woman is filming inside her bathroom after noticing something strange. The toilet paper roll swaying on its own, and the blinds shifting as if a breeze was pushing through, even though the window is closed.
I don't remember fucking opening that. What the fuck is that? Okay. Oh shit. What the fuck is that? What is that? Why? That's on the outside. What honestly is that? What honestly is that? I can use my... What the fuck is... It's on the outside! It's on the outside! I'm scared. I'm terrified. I'm hard. What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do?
Once she starts to record, she moves closer, her breathing quick, whispering to herself as she reaches for the blinds to check behind them. There's nothing there, just an empty window. She turns the camera back toward the window, and that's when it happens. 3 distinct finger marks suddenly drag themselves across the surface, leaving behind white scratch-like streaks, as if something unseen had swiped at it. The sound is faint, but sharp, enough to make her jump back. She slams the blinds shut, muttering nervously before quickly walking out of the bathroom. The clip ends abruptly, the camera still trembling, and whatever made those marks remains completely unseen. Ellen had been home alone that night when the knocking started. At first, it was faint, but then it grew louder, more desperate, like someone begging to be let inside. The camera shakes slightly in his hands as he walks through the dimly lit hallway toward the front door, his voice trembling as he whispers that he's scared.
Pensé que ya lo había visto todo, pero... Oh my God. Pero... Esto es lo que está sucediendo en estos momentos. Sonidos y gritos extraños. Y ahora la puerta. Como pueden ver,
Estoy completamente solo. No sé a qué me estoy enfrentando, pero tengo mucho miedo, mucho miedo. Vamos a ver qué es lo que podemos captar. No sé si ustedes logran ver algo o logran ver a ver qué o quién está haciendo esos ruidos, ese llanto. Son las 4:45 de la madrugada y no, nada más esto me faltaba. No manches.
The knocking continues in sharp bursts until he finally reaches for the lock and hesitantly opens the door. For a moment, there's only silence, and then soft crying can be heard from outside. The sound is faint but heart-wrenching, echoing through the empty street. Ellen freezes, then quickly shuts the door again, locking it tightly and backing away. He tries to calm his breathing as he walks off, clearly in a state of distress and nerves. But before he can reach his room, a low, eerie whistling begins from behind the door, slow and deliberate, as if whoever or whatever was out there knew he was listening. The clip cuts there, ending with Ellen running toward his room in pure panic. Sophie had been feeling uneasy all day after hearing strange noises in her room, the kind that made her question if someone else was there. To calm down, she stepped outside with a ball, kicking it gently across the yard while trying not to look back at the house. The camera follows her as she walks further away, her tone light but nervous. She must have been starting to feel better at least.
I'm like really paranoid right now. Ew, it smells weird in my mouth. Oh, that just went. Hello? Hell no. I'm out. I'm done. That's it. I'm out. No.
About a minute and 16 seconds into the recording, a faint whisper can be heard calling her name. The most frightening part is that it isn't just any voice, it's her own, perfectly matching her tone and pitch, but coming from behind her near the house. She freezes instantly, the ball rolling to a stop beside her foot. The whisper repeats, softer this time, almost teasing. Without hesitating, Sophie sprints back toward the house, the camera shaking wildly as she fumbles for the door. She rushes inside, slams it shut, and locks it, her breathing heavy. Who knows if she truly escaped whatever this was that night, but what we do know is she is too frightened to inform her parents. Late one night, Wyatt was sitting on his bed, when his dog suddenly started barking toward the window. At first, he thought it was just another animal outside, but the dog's behavior quickly turned strange. It wasn't looking out the window. It was staring just beside it, inside the room.
It has been freaking me out for about 15 minutes. I know, dude. What's going on? What are you seeing? Something's been spooking him. He's jumping around. This dude. What are you seeing? Why don't you back up? Charlie. I know. Calm down. It's okay. What are you seeing? You're freaking me out, buddy. Do we need to go? Should we go, Bubba? You tell me when it's time to go. 'Cause I don't know what you're looking at, but when we need to go, you let me know, buddy. What's freaking you out, bub? Okay. Should we go? Yeah? You leave when we gotta go. As soon as you walk out, I'll be right behind you.
Wyatt aimed the camera in that direction, but nothing could be seen. The dog, however, wouldn't stop growling, its fur raised and tail tucked low, letting out uneasy whines between low rumbles. Wyatt tried to calm it, gently saying it was okay, but the dog's focus stayed fixed on something above eye level, as if whatever it saw was tall and standing against the wall. The tension builds until Wyatt nervously asks his dog if it wants to go. That's when it happens. A faint, unmistakable male voice answers softly from the direction of the window. It says, yes, but in a tone that's quiet and almost playful. Wyatt doesn't actually realize the ghost replies, whilst the dog slowly backs away, still growling at the empty space. The clip ends there, leaving the voice unexplained. A woman had started filming after hearing footsteps echoing faintly through her house late at night. Her voice is quiet, unsure, as she moves from room to room, trying to figure out where the sounds are coming from. She eventually stops outside the bathroom with an evident suspicion that it may be involved with the haunting. The air feels heavy, and for a few seconds, everything goes still. She steps inside the bathroom, looking around with the camera pointed toward the mirror and shower, but nothing seems out of place. Then, just as she's about to turn the camera off, something subtle happens. Exactly 1 minute into the video, a clear shadow passed across the railings of the stairs ahead of her, and it was moving smoothly as if someone had just walked by. The woman didn't notice it at the moment, but when she reviewed the footage later, that shadow confirmed what she'd feared all along. She hadn't been alone in the house that night. Misty had decided to post a follow-up video after her previous paranormal clip gained a lot of attention. In this one, she slowed the footage down to show what really happened. It was from her baby cam, facing the crib where her youngest was sleeping, while her older son's bunk bed was left vacant due to him being at football practice.
Hey y'all, I see all of your comments coming through. I had no idea that this video was going to blow up like it did, so I have not been able to respond to everybody. A lot of you had said that the video was too fast for you to see anything, so I'll include it on here with it slowed down. I still have no idea what happened or what that was. I left the house today. My son had a football game and my mother-in-law was here. She lost internet for like, I don't know, maybe 2 hours. That was really the only weird thing that happened while I was gone for her. And that's all I have. It was a 4-second video. As soon as I saw that object appear on the top of the bunk bed, I just threw my phone and camera and I just went running up there. So I just really didn't get much longer of a video than that. I will see how tonight goes and see what we need to do further, if it's nothing or if it ends up being something. So have a good night.
For a few seconds, everything looks peaceful until a strange shadow-like object suddenly pops out from the side of the bunk. It moves quickly, almost like it's crawling or leaning forward, before vanishing just as fast as it appeared. Misty immediately ran upstairs when she first saw it live, convinced something was in the room, but when she got there, nothing was out of place. No one else was upstairs, and her baby was sound asleep. Thankfully, the baby was completely fine, but the slowed-down footage made it impossible to ignore that something unexplainable had definitely appeared beside the crib. After the slowed-down footage went viral, a lot of people in the comments wanted to know more about the room itself, so Misty decided to vlog the entire space to clear things up. She started by explaining that the baby had been moved into this room recently from what was now her home office. From the start of the video, she admits she always feels uneasy there, saying it's hard to even breathe when she walks inside. Take a look at what happens when she plucks up the courage to enter, though.
Okay, a lot of y'all were asking about the room situation, so I'm gonna run that through real quick. We moved my daughter from this room into this room. She got new furniture. That's why the bunk bed is still in there. Then we moved the baby from my office, which used to be her bedroom, now it's my office again, up into this room. So this is the attic that's in between the rooms that I was talking about that's cracked. It's been that way for a while, so it's not something that I'm overly concerned about, but y'all have got me freaking out in the comments. I cannot even breathe walking in this room, so I am truly terrified, but I'm gonna walk y'all in here real quick. This is the bunk bed. This is where I took her out of her crib, ran up the bunk bed. There was nothing up there when I came. We have her rocking chair, her changing station, her closet with all of the stuff that we still need to put up. This is where I have everything that was gifted. I know a lot of y'all were saying check stuff that came from a thrift store or that wasn't yours, because it might be causing it. I will show you guys up here. There's nothing suspicious. There's no hair from like a rat or something that could have came in. This is marker. These are still tucked in on the sides, like they're still tight from, you know, if somebody was trying to be underneath the blankets. I don't think that's plausible, so I don't know. I have no idea what could be causing it. Oh my God, it's rocking.
She turns the light on and shows that nothing seems unusual at first. The crib sits quietly in the corner, and she points up to the top bunk to prove there's nothing up there either. Everything appears normal, but as she's talking, something subtle shifts in the background. The small chair next to the bed begins to rock gently on its own. Misty freezes, the camera shaking slightly as she realizes what's happening. The chair keeps moving, slow but deliberate, as if someone invisible had just stood up from it. The clip cuts off as she lets out a loud scream and starts her escape from the room, ending the video abruptly. In the next video, Misty is sitting in the living room doing her daughter's hair, trying to get back to normal after everything that had happened. She's chatting softly to her, laughing here and there, and for the first few seconds, everything feels calm.
Mom, how'd you sleep last night?
Good, but Avery wasn't out last night.
Well, Avery slept with me. How would you have heard her wake up? She slept all night.
There was music playing in the room. You guys were like laughing.
Are you sure you weren't dreaming?
I don't think I was dreaming. I got like no sleep.
Sorry, baby.
Oh, it's Brandon. Hi, Brandon.
Good morning, sunshine.
Good morning.
Are you awake?
Yeah.
How was your night?
Sissy said that Avery kept her up all night because she said she heard her like laughing and playing and music going in her room.
Did you have her in the room last night, or?
Yeah, I had Avery last night.
Yeah, you have some things dreams, or?
That's what I said.
I'm just gonna call, make sure you're awake and getting ready. I love you. I'll call you later, okay?
Love you.
Okay, bye.
Then, around 11 seconds in, a faint voice can be heard over the background noise. It's quiet, but clear enough to make out. It says, "Hey." Misty doesn't seem to notice it right away, but viewers caught it instantly and flooded the comments asking who else was in the room. She later confirmed that it was just her and her daughter home at the time. No one else had been in the house, and the voice hadn't come from the TV or her phone. After hearing it back herself, Misty admitted she's now looking into how to sell the house altogether, saying she can't shake the feeling that whatever was in there isn't finished with them yet. Snowball99, a smaller YouTuber known for occasionally sharing strange moments from her home, uploaded a video that quickly caught the attention of paranormal-believing viewers. She had been watching TV for quite some time when, out of nowhere, the lights in her living room suddenly shut off, plunging the space into an uneasy dimness. Rather than ignoring it, she decided to grab her phone and start recording to document anything unusual.
You're seeing
Layla has just arrived at the table. Player from Brazil with total live earnings of $75,000. Yeah, Diego, let's see a flop. Connect cards to make a decent top pair and he calls as well. We're going three-way to the flop.
What's it going mad?
For a while, nothing else seemed to happen besides the faint sound of the television in the background. But as the silence settled, both of her dogs began to whimper simultaneously, their eyes fixed on the same corner of the room. It was the kind of reaction animals have when they sense something humans can't. Just as the video is about to end, viewers can clearly see a grey teddy bear on the floor subtly shift on its own. A small but unmistakable movement. Snowball99 immediately stops recording, her breathing audible and shaken, and later wrote that she hadn't been able to sleep properly since. The clip spread quickly, with many calling it one of her eeriest uploads yet. 2 nights after the Teddy incident, Snowball99 found herself on edge. She'd been trying to convince herself that what happened last time was a one-off, maybe just her imagination playing tricks on her. But when faint noises started echoing through her bedroom late at night, she didn't hesitate, and she instantly grabbed her phone to hit record. She slowly panned the camera across the room, showing every corner to prove there was nothing and no one else inside. As the camera settled back toward her bed, her sheets began to shift unnaturally, as if something was moving underneath them. Her dogs weren't in the room this time, making the moment even harder to rationalize. She tried to keep the camera steady, breathing heavily, when suddenly a pen fell off her desk completely on its own. There was no breeze, no movement nearby, and she made sure to replay the clip in slow motion for viewers so they could see exactly what she saw. No visible cause. By the end of the video, her breathing was shaky, and she admitted later that she slept with her parents for the rest of the week, despite her older age. Whatever is in that room doesn't seem to be slowing down, and they're looking into bringing a helper in. Eddie had been dealing with strange activity for weeks, but this time it felt different. The knocking wasn't echoing through the halls like before. Rather, it was coming from one specific spot. He grabbed his phone and started recording as he walked through his now loud house toward the sound.
Mam użyć?
The knocking grew clearer with every step until he stood directly in front of a tall cupboard, the noise tapping steadily from behind it. He hesitated for a moment, clearly unnerved, then swung the doors open wide. What made the moment so chilling was that the knocking didn't stop, even with the entire cupboard fully open, exposing the wall and everything inside. The rhythmic tapping kept going as if it was coming from inside the very structure of the house itself. There was nothing behind it, nothing leaning against it, and no visible explanation for what was happening. Eddie stood frozen, the camera capturing his uneasy breathing as the knocking echoed on. It was one of the clearest pieces of activity he'd caught yet, leaving viewers just as unsettled as he was. On another occasion, Eddie was trying to unwind in his living room, but the calm didn't last long. It never does when your house is haunted. A faint tapping started coming from a cabinet across the room, the one where he kept fragile items like wine glasses. The sound was light but steady, enough to pull his attention completely. He grabbed his phone again and walked slowly toward it, each step amplifying the tension. Just as he reached the cabinet, a loud bang echoed from elsewhere in the house, and the tapping inside the cabinet stopped instantly, as if whatever caused it had shifted its focus. Startled, he continued and hurried toward the source of the bang, which seemed to come from his bedroom. When he entered, he noticed the door had shut on its own. He checked behind it, scanning every corner, but found nothing unusual. As he stood there trying to process what was happening, another noise echoed faintly from the kitchen. Rushing over, he found one of the drawers fully opened, even though he was sure he'd closed it earlier. The sequence of sounds felt coordinated, like whatever was in his home was deliberately leading him from room to room, and for the first time, his unease turned into genuine fear. Late at night, a security guard was doing his usual rounds when something on one of the CCTV monitors caught his attention. It's safe to say that it was far from expected. In the corner of the screen, a figure could clearly be seen sitting in an office chair inside one of the building's rooms. It looked like a woman, sitting unnaturally still, but the strange part was that the guard was standing right next to that very chair in real life. He turned his phone camera toward it to show proof, and the chair was completely empty. No one was there. Shaken, he bolted toward another nearby room that the cameras showed as being pitch black. When he arrived, the lights were off, despite the fact that he swore he'd left them on earlier. He flipped the switch, restored the lights, and quickly returned to the security room to keep watching the feeds. That's when things took an even darker turn. On the same monitor, the woman who had been sitting in the empty chair was now standing in the room he had just checked. It was like she'd followed him there. The realization hit him all at once, and his breathing turned shaky as he stared at the screen, fully aware that he was alone in the building. Whoever was haunting him definitely did its job of causing fright. Every morning without fail, Shannon would wake up to find the exact same cabinet door standing wide open. It wasn't just a random door either. It was always the left door, the one that had a secure snap mechanism that made it impossible to swing open on its own. Tired of wondering, she decided to start filming it in order to prove she wasn't imagining things.
Okay guys, I'm gonna post this on Facebook, but every morning that I wake up, this cabinet right here, this cabinet right here is open. And it's always this door. It's got a snap, as you can see up top right there. It snaps, so there's no way that that door can just open up on its own. It's not even full inside of the cabinet. But every morning I wake up, for the last 2 weeks, this door has been open as if something or someone has opened the door, and I've asked everyone in the home here that lives with us, and no one messes with this cabinet. This is in my room. Now, I don't know what it is, but I'm going to try to set my camera up at night, and I'm going to try to see if I can catch it opening up on its own. If I can, I'm going to post it on I'm going to post it on YouTube also. Not Facebook, YouTube. This is just the freakiest thing ever to me. Like, it freaks me out. It just, like, I can't take it. But I just wanted to share that with you guys. I'll try to keep updates on it and let you guys know if it opens up again. Like, it's super freaky to me. Super freaky.
Shannon pans the camera toward the cabinet, showing how the right door stays firmly shut while the left hangs open again. She zooms in on the snap to show it clearly locked in place, meaning that there is no way it could open on its own. Wind or uneven hinges couldn't be the cause. Determined to catch whatever was happening, she sets a camera up facing the cabinet before heading to bed. She explains that if the door opens again by morning, there will finally be proof. The clip ends with the camera positioned, quietly recording through the night, leaving viewers wondering what it will capture when the sun rises. The very next day, Shannon uploaded a follow-up video, and this time she had undeniable proof. The footage shows her cabinet in the early morning, completely still, before the left door slowly pulls itself open as if something invisible was tugging on it. The crazy thing is that it happened as she was collecting the camera.
So, yeah. See? There it goes again. It just now opened on its own. Wow. And see, there's a snappy thing right there. It snaps shut tight. Maybe if I do it like that, it won't open. I'll try.
What makes it even stranger is that Shannon points out the snap mechanism again, zooming in to show how it clicks firmly into place, proving it can't just drift open on its own. She then steps into frame, closes the door herself with a clear snapping sound, and pulls on it lightly to show just how secure it is. Despite locking into place the exact same way, the cabinet had opened without her touching it. Shannon sounds both unsettled and vindicated, reminding viewers this has happened every morning without fail. But now she finally has evidence to back it up. The way the door opens so slowly makes it feel deliberate, like something inside the house wants to be noticed. The spooky thing is that it got what it wanted. Chriselle Luna has returned to the same chilling location featured in her previous investigation, a place that has already given viewers some unforgettable moments. For those unfamiliar, she's been exploring a notoriously haunted site, documenting everything she experiences for her audience. In this new clip, Chriselle is seen stepping outside the facility into the pitch-black night, her flashlight barely cutting through the darkness. The atmosphere is heavy, with only the sound of her footsteps echoing against the quiet surroundings.
¿Qué dicen que ven en el lugar, eh? Estoy sintiendo que la energía cada vez se está poniendo peor. Ok. Vamos a salir de este lugar. Quiero ver si en la casa logramos registrar algo, ya que creo que es donde hay mayor actividad paranormal. Vean, se ve terrible ese lugar. Ay, escucha. Meli, acá. Escuché un ruido ahí. No sé si la cámara lo registró. No sé si fue por el aire. Pero aquí escuché algo. ¿Quién está aquí? Se está moviendo. ¿Quién eres? ¿Necesitas ayuda? Quiero ver si estás aquí. Si necesitas...
Just as she's about to move further away, a bang erupts from inside the building, causing her to whip around and hurry back in. She scans the area cautiously, her camera sweeping across the dark interior. Nothing appears to have changed. The only thing standing in the middle of the silence is the same old tractor she encountered before. Unmoving yet oddly eerie, she eventually ends the clip still uneasy. Subscribe to me as this story has not yet ended. In the following video, a man began filming late at night after the unsettling sound of constant knocking echoed through his house. The knocking was rhythmic, steady, and didn't stop, no matter how long he waited. He gets up, phone in hand, and walks slowly toward the front door, the knocks growing louder with each step. Even as he reaches for the handle, it keeps going with hard, deliberate thuds that seem to come from the other side. He hesitates for a moment before unlocking it, takes a deep breath, and swings the door open. Instantly, the sound stops. The air outside is dead silent, the porch empty, and the street beyond completely still. Just as he turns to head back inside, he notices something strange, a single mysterious branch lying perfectly in the center of his doorstep, as if it had been placed there. Confused, he picks it up and brings it to the trash, wondering how it could have got there. He shuts the door behind him after going back inside. No more knocking, no more movement, just the eerie sense that whatever had been at his door had left something behind on purpose. The next clip picks up at the very same door. recorded just a few nights later. This time, instead of knocking, there's a strange snapping sound coming from outside, quick, sharp, and repeating in perfect intervals. It was almost like a whipping noise. The man hesitates, clearly unnerved, before deciding to open the door again. As soon as the door swings open, the snapping stops dead. He steps outside cautiously, scanning the porch and yard with his phone light, expecting to find an animal or a loose branch in the wind, but the night is completely still. Then, as his camera pans down, something catches his eye, a single branch lying neatly across his doormat. It's almost identical to the one he found before. He crouches down, examining it for a moment before whispering that he doesn't understand how it got there. There's no movement, no explanation, just that same uneasy silence pressing against the air. The clip ends with him slowly backing inside, locking the door again, clearly realizing this wasn't just some random coincidence. Whatever was leaving those branches seemed to be coming back for more, so he needs to do something to stop it. So suggest some ideas in the comments section. Unedited security footage from a metal gate warehouse captured something that left the entire staff stunned. Earlier that night, one of the workers had gone to check the main gate and confirmed it was firmly padlocked before heading back inside to grab the keys. Only 5 minutes later, this clip was recorded. The heavy gate can be seen rattling gently at first, as though someone is tugging from the other side, even though the lot is completely empty. Then the padlock begins to twist on its own, slowly turning in place before it clicks free and drops to the ground. The gate swings open right after this happens, swinging all the way until it's wide open, exposing nothing but darkness beyond it. The camera shows no people, no animals, and no movement anywhere nearby. When the worker returned with the keys, they found the gate unlocked and open exactly like in the footage. After reviewing it, he immediately quit his job, saying he refused to work somewhere that could unlock itself so easily. Viewers online agreed it was one of the clearest examples of paranormal interference ever caught on CCTV, and I bet people will think twice before shopping here in the future. A man was spending a quiet evening at home, watching cartoons with his son, while his wife got ready in the bathroom. Everything felt perfectly normal until he noticed movement behind the curtain-like blanket covering a door nearby. At first, he thought maybe his son had thrown something or that a draft had made it shift, but the timing felt too precise, too intentional.
Todo había estado tranquilo.
Esta vez no. Miren lo que está pasando. Ya no había pasado nada. Estoy jugando con mi hijo. Estamos viendo caricaturas. Miren. Mi esposa está en el baño. Vamos a ver.
¿Qué carajo es eso?
¿Qué es eso? Mames. Maldita sea, vamos a prender el flash. Ahí espera, hijo. ¿Qué fue eso? No hay nadie en la cocina. Oh, mierda. ¿Qué?
Ahora sí me dio miedo.
¿Qué es eso?
He began filming, explaining that nobody else was supposed to be in the house, his voice uneasy as he reached for the edge of the curtain. Pulling it aside, he revealed the dark room beyond, and for a split second, a shadowy figure could be seen peeking out from across the room before retreating. His breathing quickened as he glanced back to make sure his son didn't follow. Gripping a flashlight, he stepped carefully into the room the shape had vanished into. The beam swept across the furniture and walls, but there was nothing. No person, no movement, not even a sound. The atmosphere was thick and silent, the kind of silence that makes your skin crawl. When he checked the footage later, he realized the shadow had leaned out just enough for its head to be visible, and there was no logical way anyone could have been standing there. It was around 3 in the morning when the man started recording again. This time, both he and his wife were awake, startled by the sound of repeated knocking at their door. At first, he brushed it off as the family dog, but the rhythm was too precise and far too constant to be an animal.
¿Qué onda, banda? Son las 3:08 de la mañana. Estoy grabando este video porque nos despertaban unos golpes en la puerta, como si estuvieran tocando. Pensamos que era el perro, pero ya son muchos y repetidamente. No sé, estoy con mi esposa y mi hijo. Y a mi esposa me dijo que ya me levante a ver porque sí, ya está raro. Así que pues, vamos a ir a ver qué onda, porque esto sí está... Está canijo. Ya están tocando mucho. Y el perro sí, ya no puede ser. Yo nomás voy a buscar unas chanclas, unos tenis o algo. Y pues vamos a ver qué onda. Que sí, ya. Esto está raro. Vamos a ver qué onda. Esto sí no. No, madre. Esta puerta está cerrada. Google, ¿qué hora es?
Son las 3:10 de la mañana.
Nada, amor, nada.
His wife stayed in bed while he got up, muttering that he'd check it out. Slipping on his shoes, he walked down the dark hallway, the steady thuds still echoing through the house. When he reached the door, he froze. Through the smudged glass, a faint face could be seen on the other side, distorted by the frosted surface but human enough to send a chill down his spine. He steadied his camera and opened the door in one swift motion, only to find nothing. The driveway was empty, the air still. Confused, he stepped outside, scanning the area with his flashlight, but no one was anywhere nearby. When he went back inside, the knocking had stopped completely, and the house was quiet again. His wife, still in bed, asked what it was. He didn't have an answer. That the face he saw through that glass wasn't clear, but it was definitely there. A man was at home one night, casually watching TV, when he decided to start filming because something strange had started happening. The overhead light in his living room began flashing on and off at slow, rhythmic intervals, almost like a signal.
Vean cómo empezó a ser el foco de mi recámara. Prende y se apaga. No sé qué pasó. Estoy viendo la tele y de repente no sé qué pasó, se apagó la luz. Otra vez apagó la luz. Voy a buscar la linterna. Se apagó la tele. Aquí está la linterna. ¿Qué está pasando? No mames, no mames. ¿Qué es eso? Por Dios, ¿qué es eso? Se apagó. Mi celular. Mi celular. Traigo mi celular. Está prendido ahí abajo. Está prendido ahí abajo. ¿Qué pasó? ¿Qué pasó? Se prendió la luz. Se está apagando la luz. Se está prendiendo la luz.
He pointed his camera toward the TV, narrating nervously as both the television and the light suddenly turned off at the exact same moment, plunging the room into silence. Grabbing a flashlight, he asked out loud what was going on, his voice shaky. Just then, the door across from him creaked open by itself, revealing the dark outline of a womanly figure standing beyond it. The figure didn't move, but its presence was enough to send a jolt of fear through him. After gathering himself, he slowly backed away, turned, and made his way downstairs with the flashlight in hand. His breathing grew louder as he picked up the pace, eventually sprinting out the door and into his car. He explained at the end that he wouldn't be going back into that house for at least a week. Footage captured a routine call that turned into something far stranger. Questioning a woman outside her 3-room home after she reported what she believed to be a burglary. She explained her reasons for suspicion, and they sounded very believable, so the officers requested permission to search the property. She agreed, staying outside while they went in.
How's it going? What seems to be the problem?
I left for a while to go shopping, and when I came home, the door is open. I think somebody broke in.
Does anyone live in the house?
Yes, my husband, myself, and our 2 kids, but they're out of town right now. They're with his parents.
And how many rooms do you have?
2 upstairs and 1 downstairs.
All right, we're gonna have to go and search the house. Is it okay if we go in?
Yeah, of course.
You don't have any like pets or dogs or anything?
No.
Right. Just stay here, man. Police! If anyone's here, make yourself known. Police!
Anyone inside? I'm gonna check downstairs, you get upstairs. Police! Anyone inside, make yourself known. Downstairs clear. Upstairs clear? Yeah, we're good.
Flashlights swept across the darkened rooms as they knocked on doors and announced their presence, receiving no reply. One officer entered a bedroom and inspected a cabinet, only to catch one of its doors slam shut on its own a few seconds later. He checked the adjoining bathroom and found it empty. The officers split up to cover more ground. The body cam shows the POV officer heading upstairs, where the door at the top slowly pushed itself wider, as if someone invisible was waiting for him. He cautiously entered, scanned the room, and found nobody. As he stepped back into the hallway, the door opposite creaked open even further, repeating the unsettling pattern. Once again, the room was empty. After thoroughly checking every space and finding no signs of forced entry, the officers returned outside to inform the woman. She was left shaken but relieved no intruder was found, though the officers admitted what they witnessed inside was deeply unsettling. She decided to stay with family for the night and planned to have someone bless the house in the coming days. Noah had always joked about the piano ghost living in his house, ever since the old upright piano had arrived as a family heirloom, and it would frequently play by user, with the seat even moving. But one afternoon, he found something even more abnormal. Sitting on the piano's music stand was a handwritten note addressed to him. It claimed to be from the piano ghost itself, saying it had been practicing a special song and left clear instructions on how to let it play without interference. Intrigued and excited to see what musical ability the ghost had to offer, Noah followed the instructions.
Sorba. Hey, say hi to Jackson, Haven, and Harper. Hey kiddos, it's Uncle Noah. I wanted to let you know I got home last night and I saw a letter from the piano ghost to you guys. I've already read it, but I'm going to read it to you guys. It says, oh gosh, this handwriting is so bad. says, Dear Haven, Harper, and Jax, I heard y'all are coming to see Noah and Lindsay for Christmas. So I've been practicing a little song to play for y'all. I'll play a little bit of it for you now. I hope you enjoy it. Here are your instructions. Place the letter on top of the piano, turn the piano on for me, and then back away and listen. I hope you enjoy this song, and I can't wait to play for you this Christmas. Love, the friendly piano ghost. All right, so let's see. We put the letter up, turn it on, and back away. So let's turn it on for him. And now let's watch him play. Hope he can sit on that bench. It's kind of crooked, but oh well. Oh, whoa. He's scooting it back so he can sit on it. Okay. Well, whatever works. Oh, there he goes. There he goes. He's playing. Man, he's good. Such a cool ghost. All he does is play the piano. Sweet. That was cool. Oh, I guess he's not done. Oh yeah. Rocking and rolling now. He's the best piano player I've ever heard. Alright, I'm gonna quit videoing. And I'm gonna leave so he can play by himself. Love you, kiddos. Bye.
He placed the note on top of the piano, turned the power on, and stepped back to give it space. A few moments later, the seat in front of the piano slid out as if an invisible player had taken their place. Then the piano keys began pressing down one by one in perfect rhythm, playing a recognizable Christmas song, all on their own. The sound filled the room as Noah filmed, clearly in awe. It wasn't a recording or a trick of the light. He could see each key moving as if touched by unseen hands. According to the note, the ghost planned to perform the song for the whole family on Christmas Day, which left Noah equal parts excited and unsettled. The following footage comes from a household camera set up in the sitting room right after the family finished dinner. The room was calm and completely untouched, but little did anybody know that it wasn't going to stay that way. Near the camera, a small child's toy on the desk gives a slight twitch, so subtle you might miss it on first watch. A second later, it shifts again, more abruptly this time, scraping a few centimeters, as if nudged by an unseen hand. After a brief pause, it jolts once more, the movement sharper and impossible to blame on vibration. While the family is off-screen cleaning up, the camera catches one more startling moment across the room. From the top of a cabinet, an item tumbles down and hits the floor with a clean clack that cuts through the silence. No one is nearby, no footsteps approach, and nothing else in frame moves. The clip ends with the toy sitting crooked and the fallen object lying where it landed, a quiet room holding onto a very loud mystery. The man in our next clip was standing outside his house late at night when he began to hear faint footsteps that didn't sound like the usual neighborhood sounds. Curious and a little unsettled, he pulled out his phone and started filming to see if he could capture whatever was making the noise. Pointing the camera toward one of his windows, the audio picks up a strange rhythmic galloping sound, almost like a horse running just out of view. The noise grows clearer, echoing through the night air, and at moments, an obnoxiously loud snoring sound can be heard too, adding to the eeriness of the situation. The man stays quiet for most of the video, focusing on recording the sounds as they continue for several seconds before fading into the distance. Some who watched the footage said the noise reminded them of a horse, while others thought it sounded like distant gunfire echoing off buildings. Comment below what you think it sounds like so we can get to the bottom of it. A family was casually filming themselves hanging out in their sitting room, everyone gathered together and chatting. It seemed like a completely normal moment, but if you pay close attention to the woman standing in the background, something unsettling happens. Her hair suddenly gets tugged back by an unseen force, sharp enough for her to immediately react and grab at it in confusion. She turns to the others and explains that the family has a ghost in the house. For context, she's actually a cousin visiting and doesn't live there. Her sudden declaration leaves everyone looking around at each other, visibly confused and unsure how to respond. Some nervously laugh it off, while others look uncomfortable, trying to figure out if she's joking or serious. The clip spread quickly online, with many viewers pointing out the clear movement in her hair and how genuine her reaction seemed. Whether it was a trick of the light or something paranormal, the moment left a lasting impression. Late one night, Dyra found herself alone in the storage facility she was renting a room in, sorting through some old belongings she'd been meaning to organize. The place was quiet, the kind of silence that makes every little sound echo down the narrow hallways. She pulled out her phone and began recording as she walked through the corridor toward her unit. You'll have to look closely to see what happened in this clip.
I'm over here at the storage, and I don't know if it's me, but y'all tell me I don't see that. Oh no. I don't know if it's just a fan like going in and out, but the f is that? Duh. I don't. Maybe I'm bugging. No, I know y'all just see that, right? Oh!
Zooming down the hallway, she caught something unsettling. A figure kept peeking around the left corner at the very end, pulling back each time as if it didn't want to be fully seen. It happened more than once, quick movements that looked too human to be a trick of the light, yet too strange for someone to actually be there. The building was supposed to be empty, and it was late enough that no staff or other customers were around. Her breathing grew shaky as she slowly made her way forward, unsure if she was dealing with a trespasser or something far worse. The footage left viewers uneasy, with many pointing out how deliberate the peeking looked, as if the figure was toying with her. After a long day at work, the victim of our next clip pulled into his driveway and immediately noticed something strange. The light in his shed was on. This wasn't the first odd thing to happen recently, and he'd started to believe his property might actually be haunted. His neighbors, however, dismissed it as the work of bored teenagers playing pranks. Determined to prove it one way or another, he pulled out his phone and started recording.
I just got home from work, and my shed light is on. Sorry, I'm spanning the yard just to make sure nobody else is out here. I spoke to my neighbor after that last video, and he said his junior high boys have been pulling pranks on people, so I think it's them. But they don't really have anywhere to go, so I'm gonna bust in here and try and catch them. I don't know what they're doing.
Hey! 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 Hey!
As he filmed the shed from a distance, the light began to flicker erratically, turning off and on in a pattern that didn't seem random. Just when it looked like it might stop, a figure appeared inside, faintly illuminated, and turned to face him. Without hesitation, he continuously yelled, "Hey!" and bolted toward the shed. But when he swung the door open, the interior was completely empty. There were no windows, no back doors, and no possible escape route for anyone to have slipped out. That moment shifted his doubts into certainty. This wasn't teenagers messing around. Whatever was inside the shed that night wasn't human. Athena was on vacation at Myrtle Beach when she decided to record a quick video from her balcony, mostly just panning the camera around to show the ocean, the boardwalk, and the people below. She's calm the entire time, sounding relaxed and completely unaware that something else is happening behind her, until she pans the camera.
Beautiful Myrtle Beach.
As Athena slowly turns the camera back toward the sliding glass door that leads inside her hotel room, something incredibly disturbing appears for just a moment. Behind the sheer curtain, a strange girl peeks out from the side, only her face visible in a quick, stiff motion before she pulls back out of sight. The figure doesn't move naturally, and its face looks real, but uncanny at the same time. What makes the whole thing even more unsettling is Athena has no reaction whatsoever. She keeps recording like nothing happened, clearly seeing the girl, but likely entering freeze mode. Viewers pointed out that no one else was supposed to be in her room, and whatever that was standing behind the curtain definitely wasn't a normal person. A group of 4 friends were having a casual sleepover, hanging out late into the night while one of them had already knocked out on the sofa. The guy recording was just messing around with his phone, filming another friend who was standing in the kitchen grabbing snacks. Nothing unusual at first, just normal sleepover energy. That's until something crazy happened. Take a look.
Aí, fim da festa aí, pessoal. Ó, comprei a câmera nova. Vamos colocar um vídeo no YouTube aí, ó.
Ai, que vergonha, não faz isso.
A Josi capotada já, com sono. Aí, Thiago, a câmera que eu comprei nova aí.
Bebeu demais.
Vermelhinha e tal. Vocês nem esperaram pra festa aí, né, mano? Meu Deus do céu, que porra é essa, velho? Mano, eu vi alguma coisa aqui, Thiago. Tem alguma coisa que passou aqui, velho.
Ih, velho.
Tô falando sério, cara. Tô falando sério. Vem aqui comigo, cara.
Tem nada aqui não.
Eu vi uma coisa assim, cara.
Tá louco, mano?
Maluco. Eu vou voltar a câmera. E você vai ver, velho.
As the camera focuses on the friend in the kitchen, something unexpected happens in the background. Behind him, a human-shaped figure glides across from one side to the other. It doesn't walk so much as it moves, too smoothly, almost like it was floating rather than stepping. The person filming immediately pans around to check, but there's nobody there at all. Every person who should have been in the house is accounted for, including the one who jumped up from their sleep. The movement was too fluid, too silent, and too fast to be any of them. Whatever that figure was, it wasn't a friend sneaking around. It was something else entirely, and everyone watching the footage agreed it looked anything but human. In the following video, Keisha was lying in bed with her baby girl, Ima, trying to settle her down for an afternoon nap. She had her phone propped up, casually recording the moment as she softly sang a lullaby, while Ima played with a little hairbrush in her tiny hand. The room was calm and warm, with both of them feeling nice about the moment, but then a shift happened.
Ah! Sorry. Qué linda manita que tiene la bebé. Qué linda, qué bella, qué preciosa es. Come on, do it. Do the hand thing. Qué linda, qué... Good. You do it.
Ima is looking up at her mom, both confused and content, when the hairbrush suddenly yanks downward out of her hand in a way no baby that age could pull on their own. It drops sharply to the mattress, and Ima's eyes dart down, surprised. Throughout the moment, several orbs drift across the screen, small and bright, moving almost intentionally. Keisha keeps singing, completely unaware anything strange just happened, assuming her daughter simply dropped it. But when she watched the footage back later, she immediately realized the brush didn't fall naturally at all. It was pulled. She uploaded the clip after noticing how the orbs appeared at the exact same time, convinced that something unseen had been right there beside them while she was trying to put her daughter to sleep. Suspicious of a paranormal presence in the house, a woman was casually filming someone sitting on the couch in their living room, just recording a normal moment without expecting anything strange to happen at all. The person on the couch is relaxed, scrolling on their phone, and everything in the room seems completely quiet and normal. Then something in the background shifts in a way that is hard to explain. Right over the person's shoulders into the frame, almost like something quickly darted across the space behind them. The woman holding the camera reacts instantly, gasping as she rushes forward and grabs the camera, hoping nothing else would follow up. There is no one else in the room, no pets, no shadows that could have caused it, but the movement was unmistakable. It happened close enough to the person on the couch that if something was there, it was right behind them. After reviewing the footage later, she realized how unnerving it actually was, and the fact that it moved so close without either of them noticing makes the moment even more chilling. Michelle was filming again with her phone, sitting a few feet from a small decorative paper dragon hanging on the wall. She'd been dealing with activity for a while, and decided to ask whatever was in the house to move something, hoping to finally catch undeniable proof. At first, the paper dragon only shook a little, swaying in these tiny movements that could have been written off as airflow, and Michelle even said she wasn't convinced by that alone.
Well, I picked up Trevor before you did.
Yeah, but it might not be him moving it.
Oh, I see.
Is it Trevor moving it? Move it again. You'll have to do better than that.
God. Did you see that one? You know. Do it again, I saw it. Can you have a replay?
Okay. You have to do better than that. Thank you.
God. I know it is. It's the clock.
No, the clock's not working.
Oh, God, is it working?
Thank you very much. So that is you then, Trevor?
Yeah, it is. Did you see it move?
Yeah. Thank you very much. Can you do anything else?
We'll sit down now.
Without any warning, the dragon suddenly jolted in a sharp, deliberate motion, snapping sideways hard enough that Michelle and her sister both gasped at the exact same time. Their reactions were instant and completely genuine, immediately backing away from it as Michelle asked out loud if it was Trevor, her husband who had passed, trying to get through to them. There was no answer, no voice, no follow-up movement, but the single violent jolt was enough to shake both of them. Even in the silence afterward, the atmosphere in the room felt heavy, like someone else was standing there just out of frame, listening but choosing not to reveal more.